We are recording. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to In the Parking Lot with Eli, man to my right.
What up, what up, what up? Pepper here. How's everybody doing?
And basically this is like episode 5.1.
5.2.
5.2. We'll officially call it 6. So, we thought of doing something cool and introducing a little video feature. Unfortunately, Apple has been destroying my life as of recently when it comes to that.
Technological difficulties.
A lot of them. So until we figure out a better way to do it, whether that be me investing in a camera or figuring out if I could just go through a PC and then transfer it to myself or whatever the case may be, that's something we're going to do. But with that being said, last episode we talked about Endgame. We did really good in the beginning. And we tapered off because we're nerds and started talking about the whole movie.
Scene by scene.
Scene by scene. So it ended up, you guys ended up, well, you didn't listen, but if you guys would have been listening for like an hour and 50 minutes of us just rambling about this every single scene. And also something new that we're going to add to the episode that we're going to redo the review for Endgame, obviously. And then also, we have Game of Thrones, which just wrapped up, like a week ago? Something like that?
Probably be the next episode.
I was going to say,
or you want to try it?
We could try it a little bit in this.
Okay, alright. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we could, I know we both kind of want to talk about it a lot, and then Endgame, we're going to definitely get to, but that's a reoccurring thing that's always going to happen, probably.
Yeah.
Because everything's going to be connected. Far From Home's coming out.
Oh, that's
all
right.
that fun stuff. When is that's like a week or
July?
Something crazy,
No, it
right?
comes out July 22nd, I think.
Okay.
So I mean, it's coming, but it's not here yet.
Yeah. So definitely we'll be talking about that as well. But for right now, my fellow loiterers, welcome to the parking lot. We're gonna kick things off with Endgame. Hopefully we'll keep it way briefer than we did before, because it started like really well and then it tapered off to an hour and 50 minutes of us just talking. Scene by scene.
When we make it big, that's going to be the lost episode.
Yeah, we could. If I ever figure out Patreon, or if we get to that point when I actually have supporters, then we can do that. So Endgame, general thoughts. It's weird because we're doing it again, but yeah, general thoughts.
But now that I'm thinking about it, something that could be a lot easier is just so that way we don't drag this out. We could do likes, dislikes, and reaction to the movie.
That works for me. Because
most of the time you're going to talk about most of it anyway. So.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, so we'll start with reaction. We'll kick things off.
Yeah. Endgame, 3 hours, 58 seconds. 58 seconds. Not a minute. 3 hours, 58 seconds.
There's the title card.
Second to the dot. To the decimal point second, I think was totally worth it.
It didn't feel like 3 hours.
And that's the best part. So I saw it with you guys. I saw it with our group that we usually see the movies with. Yeah. And then I went and saw it with my friend and his girlfriend. Both times. Mm-hmm. Didn't feel like it at all.
Nice. Very
because
good. Same for me as well.
It brought you so far into it. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Obviously, there were some things I didn't like, but that's going to be with everything. It's not going to be 100% perfect. But as a movie overall, it was amazing. From the story, I really think the storyline was great. I think it was told amazing. I think the build-up was great. I thought everything about it was just awesome. And with some of the stuff, it was a little upsetting, obviously. But it was just. I thought Infinity War, when I first saw it, was the best movie I've ever seen.
Right, and this took the cake for you?
After really giving it thought, I really think that this one superseded that one. If you're talking about a movie with all action, non-stop, pedal to the metal, like oh my god moments from start to beginning, then Infinity War takes that. In a landslide.
Your movie, 100%.
But if you want a movie with it all, if you want good plot, good storytelling, good character development, great ending, great action, even some heartbreak, because what is a movie without a little heartbreak?
Right.
Endgame is the movie. Endgame is number one.
Definitely, I would say that. So obviously, it's been out for almost a month now. Maybe
Almost
a little
a
less
month.
than that.
Almost a month. Yeah, because
So-
it came out April 26th.
Yeah.
So this Saturday will be,
It'll be a
or
month.
Sunday, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost a month.
So obviously, there's gonna be spoilers. If you haven't seen it already, I've seen it twice. He's seen it twice.
It's been a month. If you haven't seen it already,
Then you
shame
probably
on you.
that, and you probably didn't really want to see it in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
I know a couple of people were like that I talked to, but whatever. To each his own.
Exactly.
But you touched on something that was really good that I still think, after the second viewing to this day, I can't rank one over the other for me personally. But what I will say is, depending on the day and what kind of movie I want to watch, then it's a toss-up.
Right.
Like, if I want something kind of like what you touched on, action-packed, a lot of pedal to the metal, like, here we go, we're doing this right now, it's happening, like, let's go, I'm going to Infinity War. If I want a good build, good story arcs, good, character development, because there's definitely a lot of that in Endgame,
Oh, yeah.
then, and obviously the last fight scene is amazing.
Oh, my God.
So, if that is in my head, then I'm going to go with that.
Even after seeing the movie twice and knowing what happens, like Marvel's releasing these clips like Avengers Endgame is #1 movie worldwide, shattering box office records.
Did it overtake Avatar yet?
Yes, it did.
It did?
It
Okay,
did.
cool.
I think it did at the beginning of the week. If it wasn't the beginning of this week, it was last week. It was just recently, but it definitely
finally did it.
It finally did it. But where was I going with that?
You're talking about how they release clips.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Things like that.
So at the end scene where Cap goes Avengers, gets Minor, and says assemble, and then you see everyone charging. I still get I'm getting goosebumps now just talking about it. Like, that's how great that scene was. Like, even talking about it still, we saw it a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
We both saw it twice, multiple times. I still get goosebumps thinking about it. Like, that's how great a scene it was. And a movie in general. I get, like, you see, like, I'm starting over my words. Like, it's just, you can't
it
really...
was a spectacle, to say the least.
it's really something you can't put into words, honestly. It's something you really have to go see and form your own opinion on, because I can see complaints and everything like that, but I don't see how you say it was a bad movie.
But to piggyback off complaints, I saw one person who said they didn't like it.
And to me, and again, everybody has their own opinions. I'm not here to trash anybody's opinion, because we all have our own. We're not going to agree with everybody. We're definitely going to disagree. I can't see it. What was the complaint?
All I saw was they posted that they just didn't like it. They didn't really. I'm sure they went into detail in like comments or whatever. It was Facebook, so you know how that's set up. It's one of those things like I just didn't feel like reading it because I didn't want it to ruin anything.
Right.
But
crazy.
with that being said, it's a pretty good damn batting average out of.
Oh well, yeah, out of millions.
Out of millions of people, it's one person I've seen personally.
There's always one
that said that they disliked it, and I'm sure they're warranted in what they like and stuff like that.
I actually haven't seen anybody that said they haven't liked it.
Goes better for the batting average.
Yeah, everybody I've seen, everybody that I know that has seen it has been like blown away, absolutely blown away.
Right. So one frontier we might have to touch eventually is IMAX.
Yes, you know what, and I think if you want, we should definitely do that. I would love to go see it in IMAX.
Yeah. You know what? Since my sister's coming, and her friend, maybe if they didn't see it yet, maybe we can do an IMAX thing like tomorrow or something.
It's fine.
Maybe
we could do maybe like a more
like
early morning thing.
Show.
Yeah,
obviously because it's 3 hours, so you got to plan your day around it. But it's a monster, man. But
all right, so what do you like most about the movie? What was your standout? What was your standout scene or action or character? What did you like best about the movie?
It's crazy. I'm getting deja vu right now because this is literally exactly how it went last time. But technology is great when it works, is what I always tell people.
Yeah, but when it works. Emphasis on when.
Exactly. There's a lot of different things in that movie that I liked a lot. Like, And I'm saying like a lot because I'm literally like, I said it again. I'm like, there's so much things that happened in it that I personally really enjoyed, not liked. Does not count.
Yes, but you did just say it again.
Yeah. It's a trap. It's a vicious circle. It's a vicious cycle. But there's so much that I enjoyed about it, like, and I said like again. So from a comic book standpoint, obviously because we've read the book since kids and we've seen things grow and we've seen characters change and things like that. Seeing little nods and hints at things that happen from the comic book, awesome. Cinematically, it's a beautiful movie. Like the CGI was pretty freaking perfect. If I was to say, I can't think of anything that was like a shakeup.
No, and you know what? I'm kind of happy you said that because that was one of my complaints about Captain Marvel.
The CGI.
I thought the CGI in Captain Marvel was very shoddy.
There's a couple scenes when you're like, all right, yeah, they definitely shot this on a green screen kind of thing.
But and you're right. Endgame. It's just when you think about it, they were.
It was
almost perfect with it.
It's hard to like pinpoint something. I'll attempt to do my best, but going along with cinematics, as far as the movie's concerned, like cinematics are great. The story was great. I thought it was well written. I thought the music was awesome. The soundtrack to it all made a lot of sense. Character arcs were still happening, which is awesome because sometimes when there's a finale of something, it gets lost in translation a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I was to say, if I was to say, like pinpoint something in the movie that I really enjoyed, I would probably have to say, I really liked, and I know you probably don't agree with me, but we'll get into that when we talk about dislikes. But
oh boy,
I really liked when Rocket and Thor went back to get the
ether,
mm-hmm. And then from that point on, moving into the battle and talking about the Soul Stone and things like that. Biggest thing I liked was the fight scene. I thought it was really good.
At the very end.
Basically the football they were playing with the Iron Man gauntlet. For lack of a better word, was great. I thought everything was really cool. Like all of it was awesome. And then seeing all those portals open up and all your favorite characters walk out slowly, and then him getting Thor's hammer, bringing it back, and saying like tightening his thing, saying Avengers Assemble. It's just like, oh, this is what you wanted. Like this is how it's supposed to go down. Like this isn't what I thought in my brain, but this is definitely what I wanted now that I see it. So all of that was really awesome for me. And also I like, and again, you might not agree with me, but that's the point of this podcast. That's the point of us being in the parking lot 3 hours after a movie and talking about it.
3 hours after a 3-hour movie.
Yep.
And 58 seconds.
Yeah. And we had to chop it down because it was like kind of cold, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
When we went with the group, it was a lot of us. But
and we saw it at 11 o'clock. So
yeah.
We didn't get out of there until like 2.
We were all really tired, so we didn't talk about it as much as we would have.
Yeah.
If we saw it at like the afternoon, like at 12 or something. But all that was really awesome. The whole spectacle of it is really cool. You know, like I said, it was everything that I ever wanted that I didn't know I wanted in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Especially an Avengers movie. So with that being said, I'll pitch it to you about what you liked.
And I know for sure I had a different answer in the first time we did this episode. But now I'm actually kind of thinking about it. Something that was very overlooked. And it is a very small detail. But I think what it did was made it more of a realistic comic book movie than they've ever made.
Okay.
So Infinity War. Thanos comes in, I want to destroy half the population just to balance the scales.
Right.
So everybody can live prosperously and in harmony and without starvation and everything like that.
Right. Everyone has food in their belly. And
exactly. So he does it. He gets rid of half the population, and obviously this is the whole point of Endgame, is to reverse what he did and try to win. It was before the final battle scene where Thor...
I think I know where you're going right now.
Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America walked up to Thanos while he's sitting there waiting for them all. Mm-hmm. And he says, my plan was to wipe out half the population, but the problem with that is leaving people behind that survived it. There's always going to be resistance.
Yeah.
So, in that moment, because we all know this Thanos at the end battle scene is technically past that becomes present Thanos.
It's young, hungry Thanos.
Yeah.
He's out here hustling on the corners.
Exactly.
Type Thanos.
So, it's the Thanos from the past that came to the present, and he sees what happens. He knows he succeeded in his quest.
Yep.
And he knows he wiped out half the population, but what he's starting to realize is that resistance from everybody who survived. So he says, now, for my plan to be perfect, I need to wipe everyone out and start over.
Mm-hmm.
That way, nobody knows what happened, and they'll be thankful for it.
That was the issue that he was saying, was like the resistance part of it, but also the fact that like people remembered what happened, and that got in the way of them living their life like how they probably should have.
Right.
With now more resources than they had before. There's whales and fucking rivers.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's the original storyline. He doesn't wipe out half the population.
wipes out all of it.
He wiped out all of it.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure he brings it back because he's like, "Oh my god, what did I actually do?" Like
Yeah.
it wasn't what he thought it was going to be.
It was. I think it was partly that, and obviously I haven't read Infinity War in a while.
And then wasn't
I think it was partly that, and then also partly like
a bigger.
he had nothing. That might be part of it, that there's a bigger baddie out there, but I think part of it was like Thanos was like, all right, now what am I going to do? Because there's no one to rule now.
Yeah, because the whole reason why in the comic, the whole reason why he did it was to impress Death.
Yeah.
Because he loved Death.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I know it's a small detail, and obviously it didn't work out this time, but it was that direct line to this comic story, and I thought that culminated everything. And then them walking up and him saying, you sitting there in your failures, knowing what you could have done or however it went, and then it brings you back to me.
Yeah.
And at this point, he doesn't know who they are. Like, he knows who they are, but he doesn't.
Through seeing like Nebula's like weird recording
and
thing.
the battle in New York and everything like that.
Right.
Like, at this point, he knows who they are, but he's never actually seen them. Like the old Thanos that died.
Yeah.
It showed that to beat him, you have to go another step. Because that point showed he wasn't going to stop.
Right.
He was going to continue to go until everyone was destroyed. And then, in that point, at the hero's expense, you got to think, like, well, if he destroys us all, there's no way we can fix this, so we have to go full throttle attack.
Right.
And, of course, the portals. I love the portals. Like,
the portals are so cool.
As soon as the one portal opened up, and then you see Black Panther, Shuri, and the Queen, the Mother, walk through.
No, it wasn't the Mother. It was.
Yeah, it was. Oh no, it wasn't. I'm sorry.
It was. This is the chick. We always forget her name. Shit. Wait. IMDb. Shout out. Sponsor us. That'd be really cool. I'm about to look it up right now.
Okoye.
Oh, Okoye.
Okoye. Gosh.
I don't know why we never remember that.
For the love of God.
Jesus. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we have ants. Shout out to Archer fans. Anyway, but that was so cool.
The three of them walking out, and then
good.
all of a sudden you see Thanos look up, and it's portal.
But first, what happened? And now we're getting into scene by scene. But this is such a cool scene.
This isn't that bad.
This isn't as bad as it was last episode.
Yeah.
But what happened right after
Spider-Man and Iron Man?
No, dude.
What happened right after?
Cap, I got your 6.
Oh yeah, Falcon. That's right.
That was the first voice he heard, and then that's when they walked out. Oh, dude, it was so good.
I'm getting goosebumps again, man.
Dude, I'm feeling it right now. I'm feeling it.
And
it's awesome, man. It was so good.
So something that was very heavily missed, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't think you saw this. Otherwise, we would have talked about this. Because of my disagreement in Captain Marvel,
right?
Did you take notice who was at that final battle scene fighting for the Avengers?
As far as
Just random people?
random people, well, obviously it was all the ladies of justice, basically. I think that's a DC thing, so we'll keep it at that, just because I don't want to. I think that makes the most sense. It was the Black Panther, obviously. It was.
So I'll say this: not superheroes.
It wasn't a superhero.
It wasn't a superhero. It was a civilization. It was a people in general that were at that final battle scene on the Avengers side, though.
Oh, it was the Wakandan people. What am I missing?
The Wakanda were there.
Yeah.
The Valkyrie were there.
Yeah.
All the Asgardians were there.
Yeah.
There was somebody else.
I must have missed it. Please,
I know I missed it.
please, if you saw this on the second viewing.
No, I didn't see it. I want to go see it a third time just so I
you
can
could,
see.
like-
A kid at work told me, and then he actually showed me a picture.
Yeah. What was it?
The Skrull.
No way.
The Skrull were fighting.
What?
The
How
Skrull.
did I miss that?
The Skrull came in one of the portals. They came through one of the portals.
No way.
And they fought with the Avengers against Thanos.
Why wouldn't you show that? Or did they show that and I just didn't remember
If
it?
they showed it, it had to be
Like a quick
split
millisecond.
second. But there's a picture, and you can see two Skrulls standing there.
No way. You
Yeah.
think it's Talos and
I would have to imagine.
another one? That would be cool. Okay, that's what we got.
We got to look
The
for it.
third time we gotta look for it. This is what the IMAX is for because it's
Yeah.
a bigger screen.
But he told me, and I said, "There's no way." But you had to figure it affected everyone, so
it was the
everyone who was
entire
affected
galaxy
was there.
basically. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even think of that.
The Skrull were at that final battle
That's
scene.
so cool. I didn't even know that. Now I'm like disappointed in how much of a Marvel fan I am because like I didn't catch that little.
I didn't catch it either. We saw it 4 times
Yeah.
collectively. So obviously it had to be very split.
It had
You know
to
what
be.
I mean?
But now, if we ever see it again, I'm going to be looking out for that when that happens.
Oh, without a doubt.
So we'll move to dislikes. You have some gripes.
You go first.
I don't. Honestly, I'm thinking about it.
Don't make me out to be the bad guy. Have one.
Yeah, I know.
After I was just talking crap on people that there's no way somebody
Yeah,
can't like
I
this
know,
movie,
yeah, I know.
and then here I am gonna rain on that parade.
Jeez. It's tough. Like I'm like thinking of something, but it's all like just. It doesn't affect the way the movie would have went.
Well, even little tiny details.
But like, I don't know. I guess like the.
Talk to me.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. I'm looking at the Spider-Man sticker, trying to reimburse my memory, and it's.
Ooh, I actually saw a picture of that.
What's that?
So apparently, there's the final battle scene where they all start charging Thanos.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is swinging through,
Oh, cool.
but nobody knows where his web is.
Yeah.
So in the final scene, you see half of Giant Man.
Oh.
And somebody drew the rest of Giant Man pointing and then Spider-Man's web on his
Oh,
finger
that's
so
cool.
he could like swing through.
Swing on it. That's pretty awesome.
I thought that was pretty funny. And then the caption was like, "Thank you, I can finally sleep now."
Yeah. That's good. So, okay, I had a little bit of thought, and this is just being nitpicky, but I would say,
Just for conversation, just be nitpicky.
yeah, just like kind of in the beginning I felt like a little scattered for me, as far as like Captain Marvel shows up, then she leaves, and then she shows up again, then she leaves, and then it's like you don't see her again in a while, and it's like I guess the way it was sold to us was she was supposed to be like a huge deal in this movie, which she was towards the end.
Yeah,
but
towards the end.
you would think if someone had that, it would be more of an influence within the movie, but also the other part that kind of, and I understand it now that I'm thinking about it, but the other part that kind of bothered me a little bit was Tony Stark. Like, not him in the battle or how he acted after, they figured out the time thing and stuff like that. Leading up to that, because he was so gung-ho about, like, saving people. And now Captain America's finally on the same page as him. And now Tony's like, no, fuck that. Like, I got a little girl. I got a family. I'm good. You guys can try to figure it out, but figure it out. And then obviously he comes around, but I think that little nuance bothered me a little. But then it makes sense because now like that arc of that character makes sense because obviously he did the ultimate sacrifice,
Right.
which is arguably, I would say, more important than the first sacrifice he would have did, that he did end up doing, of not staying with his, with Gwyneth Paltrow, with Pat, and his daughter. But honestly, that was probably the only thing that like bothered me even in the slightest way. I know one of your things is Thor. I honestly really liked Thor and how that worked out.
Listen, and this is my thing.
Oh, and now we're going into his dislikes.
Yeah, because now I get to complain, and I have a complaint, but whatever. My thing is, so we all see Fat Thor.
Yeah.
Like, alcoholic.
Have his pop.
Oh, that's right, you do. I actually kind of want it, though.
It is pretty cool.
It does. It is.
Looks just like Big Lebowski, and I need to see that movie.
And that's what they make it like. They make Thor look like the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
And it's after the events, he chopped off Thanos' head, and he's at the new Asgard, and they go get him, and he's just like wallowing in his self-pity, which it's not self-pity. I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to be as harsh this time, but I understand why they did it, why they made him out that way. And same thing with Iron Man, same thing with Tony Stark. It showed how each hero handled the loss.
Yeah, they kind of dealt with it. Right.
How they dealt with it. And listen, we all deal with our own problems our own ways.
Yeah.
There are ways to do it. There are ways not to do it, but there are ways to do it. And my problem with that was it just went too long.
Okay.
Like, I think they drug it out. Like,
I get
even
that.
Even when they found out, hey, we can go back in time and save everyone, and then they go back in time and he sees like, oh my gosh, this is working. We're getting this stone. We're getting that stone. We're doing this. We're doing that. He's still like, I need liquor. Give me wine. Give me all this and that. He's still in that mindset. And honestly, it's not going to be like, hey, I'm back to normal.
You
like,
can't,
not
like,
saying like
turn on,
right. You can't turn it on or off and be like, oh hey, look, I'm fit for godlike body again. Like, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, it's like, you didn't see Thor get to Thor mentality until
like
the very, very end,
right.
when he has Stormbreaker and then he brings Mjolnir in both hands. Like, that is when you see Thor, mentality-wise.
That was cool too.
It was really cool.
Shit was super cool.
And then how Thor brought the thunder into Iron Man, and then Iron Man shot it.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool.
I need to charge.
And then my one other thing, since we're talking about dislikes, was Hulk. To a certain extent. Again, obviously in this movie, he has figured out the connection between Hulk and Bruce. Stop treating him as a disease and treat him as the cure.
Right.
So now he's got Hulk's body, but Bruce Banner's mind. You have the best of both.
Right.
You have the brains, you have the brawns. All he uses is the brains. I just feel like it was a waste. Like, he built the machine to bring him back in time.
Right.
He did all this and that, and even when they went back to New York, he was like, oh, this, because Captain America is Hulk smash. And he goes, this is I forget the word he used.
Dude, I think he said degrading, maybe?
It wasn't degrading, but it was along those lines.
Right.
And it's just like, you know what you are.
Mm-hmm.
You have the gifts, especially in this. Like, it's not like you're just doing it just to be like, oh, hey, I'm Hulk, I smash, I break things, like, bah, bah, bah. Like, you're doing this to save humanity, to save the universe. You're doing it to suck it up. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do to save everyone. And yeah, he brought everybody back that Thanos dusted, but it was just like, after that, it was like, you saw him in the final battle scene charging, and then that's the last you saw him.
Okay. I'll play devil's advocate to that.
Go for it. You're wrong.
Cool, thanks. Good talk. All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, we're done. Goodbye.
Editing team, please grab this equipment.
No, I'm just kidding.
As I speak to myself. So I would say that is a thing that I get it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's two-pronged. I think they were playing off how he kind of is currently in the comic books as Amadeus Cho, which is both. he is like a scientist who uses Hulk's body. Like,
yeah, but that's a totally
he's able
different
to-
person.
Right, but I think they're just
doing
taking like hints from it.
Okay.
And then
I
the
see what you're
second
saying.
thing of that I would say is
Well, there was a whole Professor Hulk, too. A
Yeah.
Professor Hulk line, which is Bruce
Right.
doing what he did in the movie.
so, and then the other thing I would say in that is because he figured out the way to do both and to have both, I think since he had Bruce's brain, it was more or less like, I don't want to like go back to how it was because this is better.
Like, now that he has a control over it.
Right, now that
Okay.
he's able to control it and things like that.
And
Like,
I can
he's
see
joking with kids, taking selfies,
that. Right,
like,
yeah.
you know, he's a rock star. He's
Yeah.
living life.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would say to that, but I do get where you're coming from. It kind of was a little weird.
But it does
But
open
also,
the
he
door.
basically broke half his body when he did the snap, which
Oh,
is
no, I
probably
know.
why he didn't do anything in the battle.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, and yeah, I could see that. And the directors have already come out and said that damage is permanent.
Oh, no shit. I
Yeah.
didn't see that. Interesting.
They said it's his arm's done. He's not coming back from it. There's no healing it. Nothing. That arm's done. But I also was reading another rumor or fan theory or whatever it was. So now with this movie, you have, and there's always been the alternate realities with Doctor
Yeah.
Strange and Ant-Man and everything like
Right.
that. But now there are different multiverses. There are multiverses.
Right.
Because of the effects of what they did.
Well-
and now, obviously, you're going to explore that
Right.
more.
Going to Far From Home, that's
Going
what
to-
they said.
Exactly, because that's
He's
where...
not from our... Nick Fury said that he's not from our Earth, he's from Earth, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's where Mysterio comes in.
Yeah.
But they said the rumor is they might bring Hulk back
As, like, normal Hulk.
as a villain.
Interesting.
As-
Red Hulk type stuff.
As the next villain.
Ooh. Interesting.
So there is a storyline, and
Well,
'cause
there's...
I can't think of the name, but he is a villain in another reality, another universe,
Right.
and they said that he could possibly come through like Mysterio did and be the Avengers next.
Okay.
Be
Is
the
that
Avengers
Primal
next.
Hulk?
No,
Is that a
it's-
thing, or I
this
just
is
made
who
that
it
up?
is.
Okay, that's
But
what
I
picture
can't-
was in my brain when I thought
But-
of Primal Hulk.
I got it. Maestro.
Oh, okay.
Maestro Hulk. They said he can, but this is also what opened up the Hulk vs. Wolverine line too.
Interesting. That probably won't happen, but that'd be cool.
It could now that they have the Fantastic
Right,
the
but
X-Men.
they also said that they're not going to do much of any X-Men thing for a while. And obviously,
Really?
Dark Phoenix is wrapping up Fox's iterations.
Yeah, so I saw that. I saw that theory that apparently Hulk could be a major villain, but
Okay.
it's a different reality.
That would be
Hulk.
interesting.
And
Like Bruce Banner, current Hulk, in
There's-
Earth 616, I think. Is
yeah, 616.
his normal Earth versus Maestro Hulk from Earth, whatever,
Yeah, and
or from Planet, whatever.
apparently it happens with Iron Man too.
Someone said that as a theory. Denzel brought that up.
Because I think him and Mark were talking about it because Mark said something to me and I had it in my head because I was going to say it and now I totally forget what it was.
Yeah, I think there's like an alternate Tony Stark that's like an asshole, like an actual asshole.
Like a villain.
Yeah.
It was...
Wait, you think we could look it up?
oh man, I have
Use
no,
our
it
Googles.
was a really
speaking
good
of-
point.
Comic books. There's 9 days left in fan verification. It's free to do. I'll just
Oh
do
yeah,
it, just in case.
that's right. I gotta do that.
But we're trying to go to New York Comic Con. I wonder if we can get a press pass. Because we do have a podcast. It might not be a huge podcast, but it's
But
a
it
podcast.
is a podcast.
And I could bring this stuff with me and we could record one of the days if we end up going.
Oh my god, that would be
I wonder
amazing.
if that's a thing. we
That
could
would be
do.
amazing.
If anyone else has a podcast or does YouTube videos or
And has any
a blog,
information on
anything
that.
like that, and you somehow managed to see this, please.
Because maybe I could
Hit
use it
me
for
up.
for the Pep's Pokey reveals.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm at 119.
Hey!
Go subscribe. Make it an even number because I
It's
hate
not the end of the
that.
show yet. You can't plug anything yet.
I know. I'm sorry, but it's on my.
But now I'm going to plug something. At ecarm32, DM me on Instagram, or at Ekaram32, EKARAM32 @gmail.com is the email I use if you have any information with the press pass.
Because that'll help. Because maybe I could use that too.
Maybe I could DM or message some other podcast people that I listen to that aren't relatively like fucking enormous that could maybe shed some light on that.
Yeah. All right.
Getting
back to where we were.
We're getting back.
Where was I go? Because of what me and Mark were talking about.
Yeah, I'm about to look up Evil Iron Man. So keep speaking.
Because it was a big role. It was a big character that's actually Iron Man in another multiverse.
Iron Maniac is an evil alternative universe version of Iron Man from Earth 5012. His first appearance in Marvel Team Up Volume 3, Number 2, wearing armor that resembles that of Dr. Doom's. He comes from an alternative reality where most of the Avengers were killed when they encountered the vicious alien Titanus in space. First appearance, Tales of Suspense number 39, March 1963, created by Stan Lee, R.I.P., Larry Lieber, Don Heck, and Jack Kirby, also R.I.P., I believe.
Yeah, man, I can't remember.
So maybe that's what they were referring to?
Yeah, because Mark was saying he would have liked to see them do something in Infinity or in Endgame, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, this is gonna bother me.
That would be cool because also, I think RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. for those not in the biz.
Yeah.
He wouldn't mind being in a Marvel movie still, but not having such a huge role.
Well, apparently I heard another rumor, and this is Far From Home. If you want to hear it, we can talk about it, but I don't know how true it is.
You piqued my interest here. Pat,
Okay.
what is it?
So, apparently in Far From Home, because obviously in the trailer he says to Happy, I see him everywhere, and this and that.
And it shows her that cool graffiti mural.
Yeah.
I also have a theory about that, but you tell me yours first.
Apparently, because you know how the suits have a voice.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, he's going to be like Jarvis, basically, for Spider-Man?
Apparently, he's going to be like Jarvis for Spider-Man.
Someone told me that, too, recently. It might have been Mark, actually.
And that would be
amazing. Cool, because then he's still getting paid.
That.
He's in the Marvel movie still, and he could record the shit from his house.
Yeah.
And just send them the clips, the sound bites.
And that would be awesome, but it's a way to keep him in there. Yeah. And I'm not going to go that far. Because this kid told me what he said he read something about what the mid-credit scene is, and
For Far From Home?
For Far From Home. And apparently it was...
A kid told me what the end credit scenes he saw on a fucking Reddit, 4chan message
How
board.
do they even have that?
It's like, I don't know, I think it's all like alleged, but...
No, but apparently the kid that was telling me about this, he said it already came out. They already came out and said that's not it.
That's not it.
Yeah. But if it happened...
This fucking... My bad. I'm so sorry.
You're good. But it would have...
I'll just put it here.
It would have... If that happens, we might know what the next Avengers movie is going to be.
Right. So, you want me to get into the one about the end credits or the other one?
The other one first.
Okay. Other one was Miles Morales might be in Far From Home. Because of multiverse. Now that it's established.
Ooh!
Yeah. Cool, right?
I didn't think of that!
Yeah.
Oh!
Donald Glover already mentioned him in...
And that's his uncle. That's Miles Morales. He's
my nephew live here.
He's the Prowler.
I don't know... You think Donald Glover will keep that role? He's got to, right? They already kind of put him in canon.
Yeah, you have to. There's no backing out.
So
once you go in with Marvel, you sold your soul.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Disney, actually, it's more Disney.
It's Disney, yeah. Once you give it to the mouse, that's deadly. About it. But what I saw,
your soul is mine.
The video I saw was they do like Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of thing. Wouldn't it be real person and animated person in the same scene? So it'd be animated Miles, real Spider-Man, a.k.a. what's that actor's name?
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland.
No, I wouldn't like that.
You wouldn't like that?
No.
I thought it'd be kind of cool.
I mean, I think it would be cool for like a movie by itself.
Right.
But I think in the grand scheme of things, if you're talking about MCU, because that would kind of take away the seriousness from it.
What would be cool is if they use the voice actor for Miles Morales from Spider-Verse as the actual Miles Morales.
Yes, because he did really well. I like that. Yeah, I do like that. I agree. I do agree.
So that's the first thing I heard. I kind of hope that's true. Maybe not See, now you're making me double think about Who Framed Roger Rabbit type shit.
No, I like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but I like it as its own movie.
Fine. Second thing, dude from GameStop, when I went today, I should have just said store because no free promo. But dude from GameStop.
Shout out to GameStop.
Yeah, sponsor us. Dude from GameStop said he was searching on like 4chan or something, which is like a message board online, like kind of like Reddit, but
Yeah.
a lot more memeful and like people don't care. A bunch of degenerates on there.
Yeah.
Reddit's better. No, I don't know.
Savages.
I haven't been on either one in a while. But what he said was an end credit scene shows Mysterio not as the hero they're putting him out to be in the trailer, and that Nick Fury turns into someone from the Sinister Six, the lizard guy.
Chameleon?
Yeah. That's what he told me. And I was just like, now that's in my head, you motherfucker.
Well, that makes sense, and that's actually kind of what that kid told me.
Yeah.
Not about the Nick Fury,
Yeah.
but apparently, well, I'm just gonna say it because apparently it was already said it wasn't true. But
Right.
apparently, what was gonna happen was Mysterio comes in, and he's in a meeting,
Right.
and you see Vulture
Mm-hmm.
with Scorpion, who Scorpion was in the end credit scene with in the first Spider-Man when Vulture went to prison.
Oh, right. Okay.
That was Scorpion because he's got the
yeah.
tattoo
Right,
on the
right,
back. And then
For some reason, I went to Venom
oh
when you saw Woody Harrelson as fucking Carnage.
But then what happens is those two come in, and then you see Chameleon come in, and then all of a sudden you hear a voice say, "We've been beaten by Spider-Man one too many times." And then it pans to Norman Osborn in a suit.
Oh, that would be cool.
And then it pans out.
No Kingpin?
No. Not that he said to me. But Kingpin wasn't a part of the Sinister Six.
But just, you know...
Electro. Or Shocker, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Shocker was there too, from what this kid told me.
Yeah.
And then once they say, "We've been beaten one too many times by Spider-Man," it shows not Norman Osborn in a suit, in a green suit. Not the Goblin suit, but just a green, like, suit.
Yeah.
And then it pans back out. Remember in the first Spider-Man? They sold Avengers Tower?
Yeah.
It's
They bought it.
Oscorp Tower.
He said that too. The guy at shop shall not be named.
You notice
He said that shit
they said they sold Avengers Tower.
Yeah, but they don't know who it was.
They never said. But I just read something that there's a TV spot that shows what Avengers Tower comes to be.
Do you remember what it?
I didn't watch the TV spot, but it didn't really. It didn't say anything.
Right.
It just says the Avengers Spider-Man TV spot shows who bought Avengers Tower or
like
something like that.
comicbook.com.
Yes.
Type shit.
Exactly.
All right.
But it pans out, and Avengers Tower is now Oscorp.
That's pretty cool. That would be dope.
Which is crazy because I didn't think they would go that far.
Right.
Because after this movie, I think they got to re-up with Sony if they want to do any more. Because Spider-Man was there for 3 movies.
Yeah.
Which technically 4.
Well, I thought that was standalone movies they were letting them have as 3, and that would only be 2, right?
Oh yeah, standalone then 2.
But if it's just him in general, that would be like 4.
Yeah, because Civil War,
Civil
Endgame.
War,
Oh no, that would be 5.
Civil War, Infinity War,
Endgame, and 2 Spider-Mans.
2 Spider-Mans.
That's 5.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. I wonder if I could find details on that contract.
Yeah.
They should just not give it to him, but they should just keep
Continue
working with
this
them. Continue
because
the
both
relationship.
sides are going to make money off of this.
Oh,
but the
yes,
problem is
definitely.
it's going to be one person being too greedy and wanting all the money because obviously now that Sony's having success with Venom, and then the next movie they're doing
We
is
could do a Spider-Verse movie.
right, and then they did the cartoon and it did very well, but the next one they're doing is Morbius. He's getting his own movie, and Jared Leto is that, which I'm kind of upset about.
Oh, interesting.
Because
Couple quick things.
Yes.
Robert Pattinson as Batman. Go.
Oh my gosh, I don't want
fan.
to talk about it. I don't want to talk.
Okay.
About it. I really don't want to talk.
I'm
about
not really mad at that because he's not a bad actor. Okay. Next thing, Detective Pikachu. We saw that.
I'm still on the Robert Pattinson thing.
Why?
You can't make me change. It just.
Are you strung up on Twilight? He's not a bad actor.
He's not a good actor.
Outside of the Twilight shit, he's not that bad.
He was alright. He was in Harry. The only other thing he was in was Harry Potter, and he wasn't that great in that either.
Don't make me use my Googles.
Use your Google because I don't think he was that good.
Robert. Oh, I put Rovert. Robert.
Eli.
What?
For Batman.
Let's see. Remember Me.
I don't know what that is.
Lighthouse, High Life, Damsel, Fear and Shame. It looks like he did a lot of cool indie shit, and then like obviously Twilight, which fucks it up.
But Batman.
You'd rather have Ben Affleck?
Yeah. At least Ben Affleck.
He wasn't a good Batman though.
But he was a good Dark Knight. He was a good like kind of sadistic type one.
I don't know.
Robert Pattinson is just gonna be like,
maybe this will be
guys, please stop. I don't want to have to use force. And then his force is just like throwing something at him and don't make me come over there.
Alright. Maybe that'll be an episode of us.
Whatever. Detective we'll come back to this. Detective Pikachu, amazing. Loved it. Not obviously the best movie in the world, but as a Pokemon fan, since I could talk, I loved it. For a first live action, I loved it. Already confirmed a sequel.
No way.
It's happening.
Detective Pikachu 2 or like Pokemon?
I think Detective Pikachu 2 or Detective Pikachu's getting a sequel.
That's cool.
I thought it was great. Seeing all the Pokemon on the big screen. I thought the story was very well. Mm-hmm. I liked the story. I'm not going to say it was very well written, but the story was good. Loved the Pokemon in it. Loved some of the actors. Besides Ryan Reynolds, obviously, but other than Ryan Reynolds, there were some other big actors in that movie that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, pretty decent.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. Okay, you go, Robert Pattinson, Batman.
I already told you I felt right. I think it might be good.
Yeah, say it again.
I think it might be good.
All right, Detective Pikachu.
So, and we actually kind of wrapped up Endgame where I wanted to, like around the 40-minute mark.
Yeah.
And we're going on 47, but obviously we did a couple random things in the middle. Yeah, I thought it was good. Obviously, I'm not as huge a Pokemon fan as you, but
Yes.
I do appreciate Pokemon in general. Obviously, it was a animation show cartoon that I watched
And again,
as a kid. It was cool seeing them in real life because now those fucking weird drawings, renderings people were doing
are actually coming to life.
Yeah.
And again,
Some of them were a little far-fetched, but I like the way that the movie did it.
I see what you did there. Far-fetched Pokemon.
I didn't even think of that. Good call.
But like again, it wasn't the best movie ever. But
no, like
as a fanboy,
yeah.
like, and I don't even like saying that. As a fan, that was weird. I wish we could erase that. Whatever. As a fan, I liked it. I really did like it.
Right. The only thing that didn't sit with me right, other than like weird spots I could call. Obviously, we saw the movie together, so I called different spots.
Yeah.
Was the fact that Ryan Reynolds was his dad, and he didn't know Pikachu's voice was the same as his dad's voice. And then I was thinking about it, and I'm just like, maybe he just didn't talk to his dad at all. But then it's like, come on, you didn't talk to him once.
Yeah. I could see that, but then again, it's like, is it because he didn't realize it was his voice, or he's still trying to get over the fact that this Pikachu is talking to him?
Okay.
And maybe it was something overlooked. You know what? You know what I mean? I do agree with that. And
I thought
honestly,
Mewtwo looked really cool too.
And I didn't even think of that. Oh, Mewtwo looked awesome.
Yeah.
Did you catch the beginning where they hinted to the first movie?
No.
When Mewtwo broke out.
I didn't watch the first movie.
But the cartoon, the anime movie with Mewtwo in it.
Mm-hmm.
The opening line was Mewtwo in the lab and breaking out. Same thing with Detective Pikachu.
Oh, okay. Was that in the show? That was in the show. I thought
it was
too.
the movie.
Oh, it was the movie. So then I do remember that bit.
It
of
was
the movie.
it was word for word, and I picked
cool.
up on it, and I thought that was awesome.
That's awesome.
And something you would appreciate, which I think I said to you, but I can't really remember.
What's that?
Squirtle Squad.
I did see that. That
They
was
were in the
cool.
movie.
One of them had sunglasses too, which was awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
I
one
didn't
not
even notice.
facing you had like a little thing poking out.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Or maybe I just
wished it.
Wished it and made that happen. In
There
my
was
brain.
like a small little group of Squirtles talking to each other.
One of them had maybe it was one of them had a jacket on.
I didn't even notice. Oh, gotta see it again. Maybe we can get more cards.
Maybe that'd be cool. Still need to finish that set. Fucking ditto, bastard. In the movie too.
I haven't.
In the movie too.
Yeah.
Fucking bastard.
Ditto. My man. What are you doing? ruined it
bastards.
all. Yeah.
Check this awesome transition out. Speaking of bastards, Game of Thrones, Jon Snow!
Not really a bastard, but...
Transition god. Me, Eli.
Yes, I like that. That was a good... So, since we've never talked about Game of Thrones except maybe one little mention before this season came out, you want to talk about reaction on the entire season or reaction on that season finale?
We could do, so we're a little less than an hour now, so we could just stick to last season. Overall thoughts. It was only 6 episodes, so...
Yeah.
Background, we're both pretty big fans. I would argue probably you more than me because I jumped on the bandwagon way late.
I watched...
Shout out Zach who gave me his HBO Go to help me watch some of it, but to catch up.
Me, my dad, and my brother, all 3 of us watched the show from the beginning.
Oh, that's cool.
Very first episode, we were like, we saw it was coming out, and we
I
were
was
like,
always by myself in my room.
yeah, we were like, you know what? Let's look at this. Let's watch it. Let's see what we think. First episode, we were hooked. We were like, let's keep it going. But all right, so overall opinion of season 8 as a whole.
As a fan who's not like a ginormous fan, I don't have banners hanging up in my room with different shields or crests or tattoos that say Game of Thrones or have the Iron Throne or whatever. Or Pops for that matter. The only one I've ever considered buying is Jon Snow on the throne.
I want to wait on Pops because now that the show's done, hopefully they stop releasing those Pops. So maybe...
Well, they're doing spin-offs of Game of Thrones.
I'm fine not getting the spin-offs. I want the original shows.
Putting them out.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, yeah, sorry, bud.
No, it's okay.
But anyway, I thought it was okay. I thought they've done a lot. The season, yeah. I thought it was okay. I thought they definitely did a lot better for other seasons. It felt really rushed. 6 episodes kind of makes sense, but I feel like if you would have did 8 or 7 even, you could have drawn some shit out and make more sense. The context of it would have been better.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, when Varys was telling Jon about, like, oh, how do you feel about Dany, blah, 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 and it's like, oh, they're already in Dragonstone. That probably, last season, if that was an episode that would have happened, it probably wouldn't have on the travel to Dragonstone from Winterfell, like how they would do from King's Landing to Winterfell, or Winterfell to blah, 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 or, you know, whatever. So, I thought it was okay. The first episode was Second episode, the battle was cool. That was the third episode was the battle? What was the second one?
The second one was more build up as well.
More build up?
Yeah.
So what was the first? Now I'm confused.
So the first 2 episodes were essentially build ups.
Right. The second episode was them getting ready, like right before the White Walkers came.
No. So this is how it happened. Good. I'm glad you said that because now I remember.
Okay.
The first episode was them preparing for the battle.
Okay.
Showing Winterfell, all of the people coming in and the Northerners and everything.
Yeah.
Very end of the middle of the episode, Sansa sends one of the house members back to his town to get everybody that they can because he said he needed supplies and everything like that.
Yeah.
They say go back, get everybody. End of the episode, Tormund meets the Night's Watch in that town. Everybody's dead. The White Walkers got there first.
And that's what the weird pinwheel thing that was on the wall.
Then, second episode, they get to Winterfell.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time they get to Winterfell, Tormund tells Jon they'll be here by
sunup.
Yeah, by the next day.
Yeah.
The end of the episode, all the White Walkers get there. Third episode is the battle for Winterfell.
So I thought the battle was cool. I thought more people probably should have died.
I was
heavy.
Surprised.
It was heavy plot armor for all the main characters, like heavy.
I was very surprised.
Brienne was under a group of dead people at one point.
The entire season, nobody died.
Except the end.
Well, yeah, except the very end.
Well, I guess that would be the last 2 episodes, technically, right?
Yeah, like you had a lot of people die, but not as much as I thought.
Yeah, no, definitely. I thought honestly, more people should have died.
Yes,
in my opinion.
I think 6 secondary characters died in the battle for Winterfell. Secondaries, you had no main characters die.
Yeah, so you had Homeboy from Night's Watch, John's boy.
Yeah.
You had Who else did you have?
The Red Woman.
The Red Woman, right?
You had Barrick, Flaming Sword.
Right. And then you had, what's his name? Jorah, right?
Jorah died, yes. So that
What was it? That's 4, right?
5. Red Woman,
Right.
Barrick,
Right.
Jorah,
Right.
Homeboy from the Night's Watch.
Right. That's 4.
That is 4. Somebody
Anyway,
else died.
regardless.
Yeah. And
Jamie has one fucking arm. He should have died. Whatever. He probably should have died or at least got fucking brutally injured. Yeah. Oh, motherfucking, I keep hitting you because I can't think of his name.
At least it's not my wrist.
Yeah, sorry about that from earlier. God damn it. The squid guy. Dude from the Squid family.
Davy Jones.
Not fucking their brother. The brother who left. And
oh! Theon.
Yes.
He died. 5.
There's 5.
Which, do you consider Theon a main character or a secondary character?
I would consider him a main character because there's a lot of episodes that were basically
on
Theon Greyjoy based.
Whether it was good or bad, he was in a lot. He's a main character.
You know, he had, honestly, all the people who had wolves in the beginning were main characters.
I know 6.
Okay.
The Mormont girl. The one who killed the giant.
Oh, that's right. She killed him and then he killed her. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6. Out of what? Fucking 20 motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Okay, so Brienne should have died.
Jamie should have died. They all should have died.
Jamie should have died.
So,
Jon should have died, probably. Honestly, Bran should have died, too.
Yeah.
But, you know, Arya apparently is the GOAT because she did the same Brienne movement she did when she was fighting her.
Yeah.
With the fucking dagger drop and bang, stab Ice King. Ice King blows up. Which I thought is kind of whack.
What do you mean?
You kill the Ice King and then everyone dies?
Yeah, that's how it worked.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of whack, though.
Yeah, but so now, and it's crazy because I have been, like, my thoughts on this season,
Yeah, you were white knighting for this whole season.
I have been a big defender of this season. I think, until the very end. The very end, the last episode, the series finale killed it for me. Because now I went back and actually started thinking about things, and then I'm like, all right, I kind of see how... I wrote a 3-page paper on on the arguments that everybody had with episode 5.
Would you like to go through some key points?
Yeah, I'll
in your thesis.
I'll touch base on some of that. Like, I went over, because I've never seen anybody complain about an episode the way everybody was complaining about episode 5.
Starbucks cup, man. Water bottle, bro. Come on.
Alright, all the mess-ups aside, and I'm really surprised they let another one slip after the Starbucks thing.
I think they did that shit on purpose.
Probably.
They're just trolling people.
Probably, at that point.
Like, they could have probably CGI'd
because
it
not
out.
for nothing,
they probably could have CGI'd the cup out, too,
because not for nothing, that cup, even... Because I went back and rewatched the episode, and the cup was there. Even in the episode, the cup looks photoshopped. It doesn't look like it's real.
Well, that would be a lot of green screen, right?
Probably. So they probably did that on purpose. But it didn't look real. Somebody showed me a picture and I said, that's photoshopped. And then I looked and it looked the same. And I'm like, oh my god, it's actually in the episode, but it still doesn't look real.
Right.
So, alright, getting back. I have been a very big defender on this season.
White Knight Ant.
Yes. And the series finale killed it for me. I like the fact that they wrapped up everything and they did leave some question marks, but I don't like the way they did it.
Yeah, the way they did it was kind of whack.
Now that I'm really thinking about it, you should have ended it with the White Walkers.
That battle in specific, or them?
Not the way the battle happened. I think you should have ended the show with the White Walkers. Because that entire show, from the very first episode where you see a White Walker and then somebody gets beheaded for it, to killing them off 3 episodes in the last season.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
They built it up for Arya to do a knife drop and stab. Again, badass, very cool.
A girl has no face.
They totally went away from that in this season. But, and that's another thing. Now
She did reference it, though, a couple times.
But now that I'm thinking about it, it's like some of the character developments, they totally ruined. And so, alright, so getting on my track. I thought the Battle of Winterfell was awesome. I thought the battle for King's Landing was awesome. I'll get into the...
The Battle of King's Landing was stupid, but...
Well, because in reality...
I know probably where you're going, but continue.
But in reality, they have a dragon.
Yeah, so why do you have to... So you have basically a fucking fighter jet.
Right.
Beeline it to the castle that you know Cersei's in because you want to kill her anyway. Why are you going to kill all these little fucking kids?
So this is where this was one of my points in my thesis.
Makes no sense.
So
I don't care if she snapped.
So listen, well, but that's the main thing. Everybody's like, why did she snap? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Let's look into that. You had her best friend since almost the beginning, Missandei, beheaded in front of her.
She's pretty.
Yeah, she was. Dime. But
shout out to Dimes.
She was beheaded in front of her. Most trusted person ever. She lost Jorah. She lost one dragon in the Battle of Winterfell.
Right. Lost another dragon
Coming back to Euron.
Oh, it was Euron.
It was Euron.
Right. Okay.
She lost 2 dragons.
Where are the elephants? Well, you can't put them on a ship.
And
also our CGI budget's taken up by the dragons.
So you had that. Then you had her pretty much putting everything on the line by going to Winterfell and helping them fight the White Walkers. And then the return is Sansa trying to start shit with her and Jon after finding out that Jon's a Targaryen. Like, you have various...
I don't want it. Danny, I don't want it. I will bend the knee.
I just want you, but every time I kiss you, I think, ew.
This is my aunt.
My aunt, yes. So... that's something else. She lost the love of Jon. She doesn't have the love of the people like she thought she was going to. Everything stockpiling, and on top of everything, which nobody's talking about, it's a family line of incest. She has family history of mental illness. You mean to tell me she's going to be perfect? The complete opposite?
Well, to that point, the way they sold her in every season leading up to the last one was she was the exception to all of this.
That's false. Because even Tyrion, and they had Tyrion bring it up, she beheaded every... And granted, I'm not defending them. They weren't the best people in the world. Actually, they were some of the worst people in the world. But...
it was like slave owners.
She beheaded slave owners and crucified them, and put them on display.
Right.
She burned the people that stole her dragons.
Right.
She burned the Dothraki leaders in a hut. She burned them to the ground. There is history of violence of her taking.
Wait, she burned them?
She burned them. Not with the dragons, because the dragons...
I thought she was with Khal Drogo for a while.
She was, but Khal Drogo died from a knife wound. There were other leaders that were trying to, I forget, they were trying to undercut her. I forget what they were trying to do, but she burned them all in the hut. And then that's when the dragons were born. Because she came out of the flames.
That's right, yeah. Unburned.
And, there's a lot leading up to that. And it was a lot, yeah, they painted the picture that she was this peace-loving person, but
so here's the thing. I'm going to disagree with you at peace-loving. They showed her as the most sane person from her family line.
Yes.
Because peace-loving is not crucifying people and putting them on the spot.
But that's what I'm saying. So they tried to put both in one, but play it off as she is the sane one of that family.
Right.
But they showed the flaws and everything like that. And the more she got there, the more... and then Cersei betraying her. And then Cersei doing all that.
Cersei betrayed her? I thought
because
she didn't like her in the first place.
Well, she didn't like her in the first place, but Cersei said she would send men down to Winterfell to fight, and then they never... and then just Jaime showed up.
Right.
So, yeah, that's why she snapped. I think the reason why she destroyed the city was to send a bigger message to Cersei. I think that was more...
And I get that, but, like... For all the shit that Daenerys did... Hey, Amelia. That she did in that whole series... She was leaving... At least she was leaving kids and women fine. She was not doing anything to try to ruin them.
Right.
And I get you want to send a message, but you have a literal fighter jet. And you literally flew towards it and then cranked the right.
Because she was sending a message.
So then just destroy the building she's in, and then destroy her.
But with everything, and I get that. But this is how I look at it. This is how I see it. With everything that happened, she's burning this city, showing Cersei before she dies because Cersei knows she's gonna die. You caused all of this. And she kept saying it to Jon. Jon, she's using mercy as our weakness. Mm-hmm. And it's not a weakness. And the love of the people, she found out she wasn't going to have it. Like Jon would have. I think it was more of a message. And I I don't know. I don't like the fact that it happened. I understand why it happened.
But then the thing that fucks me up is, like, they rang the bell, like... They did everything in their power to be like, hey, listen, we don't care about Cersei anymore.
Do whatever you want with Cersei. We're good. We're good. It's a hard pass on her.
So then it's like, even if you don't like me, we're going to listen. Because obviously you have a fucking dragon.
This is something else. I don't know.
Also, Jaime's a bitch. Fucking hate that guy.
And everything I'm saying is all speculation and opinion based on my end. So I don't know if any of this is true. This is just how I perceived it.
Right.
I think it was too easy for her. So when she heard the bells...
She wanted more of a challenge?
Yeah. She spent her whole life doing this.
I guess.
You know what I mean? I think it was too easy, and she just said, screw it, let's go all in. Go big or go home. And another thing with this battle, everybody was mad about the whole scorpion situations.
Scorpion?
Those are the big crossbows.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was like, well, how...
Burn them, motherfuckers.
They took down a dragon. How were they able to destroy her so easily? So let me ask you this, because this is the same comparison I used in my thesis, and I asked somebody else. What would you easily be able to defend? What would you be able to defend better against? A fist coming at your face or a fist coming at the back of your head?
A fist coming at your face.
Why?
Because you see it coming.
Because you know it's coming.
Right.
They were able to shoot that dragon down so easily because they didn't know they were there. She was able to burn all of those scorpions because she knew what she was getting into.
Yeah, she came from the back.
No, she didn't. She came straight on. Or she came down from the... Like, she was flying in the sun, but came, like, straight on.
Oh, I thought she came from the back.
She came in first and then went to the back. Because at one point you see Euron saying, turn him around, turn him around. And it shows the weaknesses of those weapons. They're big. They're hard to reload. They're hard to turn.
Yeah, it's a fucking...
Yeah.
Couple ton arrow attached to a piece of wood.
And it's a lot easier than people think to destroy them. And I could keep going. Like we could do 5 episodes of Game of Thrones. We could do 6 episodes. We could do one apiece. But I don't think the season finale had to be an hour 20. I do like what the dragon did though. The dragon realized, and I read this somewhere, but the dragon burning the Iron Throne, he realized that Jon killed her.
Yeah.
But he realized it wasn't Jon's doing.
Yeah, it was
because of the Iron Throne. So he destroyed what killed Daenerys.
Speaking of throne, I thought it was funny that the whole entire wall behind it was fucking destroyed.
Throne, yes.
But the throne sitting there pristine, glowing.
Yeah.
And it was fucking snowing in King's Landing, bro.
I think that, it's winter there now. That's why the White Walkers were there. But I think that was either...
The first part was ash. But then
I didn't know if it was ash or snow.
But towards the end, it's like, no, it's fucking snow, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the ash would have settled by now. Like,
yeah.
Whatever.
But I don't... And then, again, like, the last episode, it was like, Bran was like, well, where's the dragon at? Bran's like, I'll find the dragon. And then that was it. Well, what are you going to do when you find him? We all know you can warg.
So, kind of piggybacking off of that, I want to go now just as a fan, but not an OD, a crazy fan.
I love season, and not just to get this real quick, I love season 8 until the last episode go.
Couple gripes that, other than like nitpicking things. Bran said he didn't want the throne because I'm the tree. Then all of a sudden he's like, "Why do you think I'm here?"
Like the character
Dumb
development.
as shit.
The character development went out the window.
Dumb as shit. Second thing. Grey Worm literally was gonna kill Jon. Decided against it. But then agreed with him going to the north. But then as soon as Jon went to the north, he's like, "Let me just go to this island real quick. Peace, homies. See y'all."
Well, I think the island was where Missandei was from.
No, yeah, 100%. But then it's like, you want to basically kill this guy. You send him up to the north. Jon's like, "Cool, I'll be with my homies."
Yeah.
And Grey Worm was just like, "Oh, he went past the wall." Okay.
Did you see the picture that I shared? Somebody put up something, and it was like, hold on, let me try to find it real quick. I just shared it a couple days ago, so I should be able to find it real easy. But it was like, is anybody upset because they could have had Jon, instead of just saying yeah this, yeah that, he could have said, "Let's have trial by combat and fight Grey Worm."
Oh, I did see that.
So, am I tripping, or would it have been 10 times better if Jon demanded trial by combat and fought Grey Worm for his freedom? Those two should have fought. Without a doubt, those two should have fought.
I think that should have been the
But,
thing that happened.
and another thing, I don't like how they didn't show that Jon being taken into custody. Like, bro, Dragon picked up Daenerys' body and flew away. So there was a puddle of blood. Jon's just standing there. Grey Worm comes in. Thought process. Puddle of blood. Jon by himself. Daenerys and Dragon aren't here. You killed Daenerys. Arrest him. Like, how do you know?
Right.
You just destroyed the city. So that puddle of blood isn't going to be out of the norm. You know what I mean? It's going to be there. You killed tens of thousands of people. So unless, and obviously this is what had to happen because this is the type of character Jon is, he probably stood there and said, "I killed the queen." And then they just took him into custody. But why not show that? 2 times in that last episode. 2 times.
Man.
They had like a week gap.
It's definitely, you need to poke holes in it. That's
Yeah.
for sure. But the petition shit that fans did was dumb. Like, you're just bitching for some reason. And also, my thing is like, they're laughing at you all the way to the bank. You know how much Amelia Clark made an episode? Like $1.7 million.
Cersei made around there too, and she was in like 3 of them.
Oh, and it's funny. Zach told me this. Braun, the actor who played Braun, and Cersei didn't like each other, so they were never in a scene together.
You know why they didn't like each other?
No, why?
Because they used to date.
That's right. He did say that. And
Yeah, I knew that. They were never in a scene
That's
together because they
hilarious.
used to date, and it went so horribly at the end. They would not be in the same scene
Yeah,
together.
that's funny.
But listen, people, I understand everybody has complaints. I understand you wish it would have been better, and George R.R. Martin came out and said the ending of the book is going to be totally different from the show. But really, be realistic here. And now this is like I'm just kind of being. Do you really think just because you sign? Do you really think just because you sign a petition that these guys are going to be like, well, okay, we're going to redo the episode or redo the season? No, it's not going to happen. The whole reason why, and I found this out. Now I'm coughing. Excuse me. The whole reason why this season was 6 episodes long is because the 2 writers are doing either a Star Wars movie or a Star Wars TV show. So they wanted
back to the mouse.
So they wanted, yeah.
The mouse controls everything.
So they wanted to be done with this. You had 2 years.
I mean, I don't blame him.
But to
It's a big check.
But, all right, I get that. But listen,
Back to bring truck up.
like, have pride in what you're doing, man. Like, you had a great show, and then you taint it.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to play devil's advocate once more.
Real quick, 2 years to make this perfect, and you ended it with how you ended it.
So whether that's true or not, okay, let's just say it's true, right? At the end of the day, their names are still on it, so they wrote what they felt fit what happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
So then it's like, the 6, yeah, sure, it could have been longer. They could have did more arcs and travel and things that made sense, like how they used to do. It's 6 episodes. Who knows if, like, HBO was like, hey, listen, like, we love you guys, but let's, wrap it up. Come on, let's figure this out. Because, HBO's got a lot of other things going on. They got a couple new series happening. Like, they probably want to turn their attention to that so they don't suck.
I agree.
So it's like, it's one of those things is like, it might have been, maybe they wanted to do the 10 episodes, or they wanted to write it better, but maybe the person that was their boss, because it always comes back to who's leading
Who's in charge, yeah.
Who's in charge. Maybe their boss was like, all right, guys, we got 6 episodes, let's wrap this thing up. So that's why the travel wasn't happening, that's why the character arc stopped, that's why all these things happened. That's why the Night King got killed in 3 episodes.
But that wouldn't make sense because you have a moneymaker. Like, this is probably one of their most popular shows that they've ever put out.
And I get that, but then look, so yes, how many people are like, oh yeah, HBO, love it. You know how many people probably stopped their subscription after Game of Thrones finished?
Right, so
they don't care about that. But then all the merch,
they did because of
all
how
the merch
it
that
ended.
happened, all the merch that they had from that,
Yeah.
and then every other show on HBO that they got money from.
But why wouldn't you try to end the best show in your network history with a bang? Not with a bang.
Cost too much
and
money.
not even. I'm pretty sure they can afford it.
So you say that, but then it's the same thing with Ghost wasn't in the same fucking scenes as a dragon, or John can't go pet Ghost because the CGI costs too much. There's a lot of things that's fucked up, but that's how they run. That's how they were able to make all this money. Playing devil's advocate.
I know.
I mean?
I'm trying to, and I'm thinking about it. They did the whole John Pet and Ghost in the last episode just to appease everybody.
Yeah. Well,
Because
arguably it was shot already, but yeah.
But they had multiple endings.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not in those HBO writing rooms, neither are you.
Well, yeah, I know. But I had somebody bring up an interesting theory to me.
Excuse me to everyone, I'm coughing really bad.
So, you know how Tyrion and Jon... Well, Tyrion gets arrested, obviously, in the last episode because he didn't like how Daenerys took the city.
Side note, speaking of Tyrion, I called it before he threw his badge.
Yeah.
Called that shit. He did it, I was like, oh, hands up.
I called it.
That's a goal.
Yeah. So, she brought this up to me and said...
Oh, goodness.
Not goodness, but nice guess. She was like, when Jon and Tyrion were talking about Daenerys and everything that happened, he said he talked Jon into killing Daenerys. Do you think he did that to save his own skin, or do you think he did that because she actually had to go? She told me she thought that Tyrion did it so Jon could get blamed and he would stay alive.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with it or not.
I don't, because he still was a prisoner when Grey Worm brought him up.
Well, yeah, because they didn't have anybody to say, all right, you're free to go.
But what I'm saying is that it's still, in the way they wrote it, he still was a prisoner. So I don't think him saying Dany had to die was...
But what I'm saying is him putting... Because that's what happened. Like, he made them elect a new king, and they elected who he said for them to elect. Bran. And then Bran's first decree is making Tyrion his hand. Right. So, and
right.
essentially saving him.
Right.
Do you think he did it?
No, I still think he did it because Dany literally had to be stopped.
Yes.
And
I do too, but it was very interesting to think about.
Yeah, like previous to the final episode, he was, before an agenda probably could have happened, he was saying he was back and forth about whether Dany should be taken down or someone else should be king or blah blah blah. Oh my god! Excuse me. I see the levels.
Yeah,
I don't like that, but whatever. Yeah, I don't think that was him saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna save my ass real quick."
Yeah. It was something interesting to think about.
If anyone changed in that show, it was Tyrion.
Oh, I know. Oh, without a doubt.
Arguably.
Yeah.
If anyone changed at all, it was him.
Yeah.
Jaime went back to Cersei. Jon was still, I don't want it.
I don't want it.
Sansa was still like bitchy and doing little quips and shit. Arya was still like, fuck it, I don't really care what happens. I killed the Night King. What? Bitch. Drop the mic.
Biggest death in the history of humanity. Oh, and that's something else. Jon literally saved humanity by getting everybody together to fight the White Walkers. the best thing you can do is send him to the wall? Really?
He didn't even go to the wall. He went to the wall with 2 motherfuckers that were in the
Well,
Night's
no, yeah.
Watch, and then he was just like, "Oh yeah, let's go to the north,
Peace.
bro."
Like, yeah, he said I went to the wall and he's like, I'm abandoning the watch, and then left. And then he's gonna be the king of the free folk, obviously. But it's just like, come on.
A Tormund John spinoff would be cool.
Yeah, that would be. A Tormund John Ghost spinoff would be good.
Yeah, well, hopefully that CGI budget won't be as extreme.
But
and
we all
Ghost would be included.
Yeah, everybody thought that there was going to be an Arya spinoff because of how she said, "What's west of Westeros? Nothing. I'm going there."
Okay, so with that being said, it's not a spoiler, it's just a meme I saw. They showed
Her on the ship?
that, and then it showed Sherry saying, "What did she say? Don't patronize me, colonizer or something like that."
Yeah.
It was super funny. I wish I had it on my phone to bring it up. But
And then I saw one meme where she's on the boat and then somebody puts an eye patch on her and it goes Arya Stark. It was funny.
That's good. That's
and
funny.
then there was a potential for it to be an Arya spinoff.
Mhm.
They already said there's no way it's happening,
Yeah.
which I'm kind of upset about because that could have been cool, but whatever. Anyway, so final. I guess if you want, we can start wrapping this up.
Yeah, wrap up.
Final opinion on season 8. I still love the season. I really do. I think I put Game of Thrones in my #1 show ever that I've watched. Serious show that
Okay.
I've watched. The last episode, though, in series finale almost ruined it for me, but then I think about everything else that happened before that, and there's no way I'm going to let one episode ruin it.
Right.
So, I loved season 8 up until the last episode. Still love the show. There were a lot of things I wasn't happy about, but I still love that show. Like I'm a fan of it. No matter what, I'm probably gonna rewatch it because that's what I do. Watch The Office like 15 times the entire show, so
Right.
it's in my nature. But all right, final thought.
I thought it was okay. I feel like they wrapped it up the best way they could with what was given.
This might have been our most argumentative episode yet.
Probably. I mean,
I
we
like
agree. We honestly agree on a lot of things.
I know. All right, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. That's pretty much it. I thought it was good for what it was worth.
Yeah.
It was written a certain way, and that's how they ended it. I feel like that was one that made the most sense.
Yeah.
So, arguably, can you think of anything else to talk about? Because I can't think of anything else.
No, we actually covered a lot more than I thought we were going to cover.
Yeah, because, the not scene by scene really helps. Yeah, so that's something we'll try to do in the future, is not go scene by scene so fucking much.
Yeah.
Because one, that's not only not entertaining, like,
No.
I don't want to even hear myself drag
know.
on for that long.
I know.
So cool.
Good episode.
Yeah,
I
liked
this
it.
one. This
Good.
was a good,
So-
great episode.
Anyone listening, if you guys have any recommendations for us to introduce a video component, that's something that me and him have talked about that we would like to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, for whatever reason, Mac to MacBook transfer is not very good.
And not to cut you off. And if you guys have anything you want us to talk about, submit
Yeah.
your submit
All 6 of you guys.
Yeah. Hey, still a following.
Yeah. it's something.
We'll post if you want us to talk about something. We'll take it into consideration, and if we know enough about it, or we can always look into it and we
Yeah.
can talk about it. Comment, leave a comment, let us know. We're not just Marvel and Pokemon fanatics.
Yeah, we like a couple different things.
Yeah, so we can always talk about a bunch of different topics. Let us know whatever you guys want us to talk about.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, it's something I would like to do eventually.
Yeah,
is to
start
talk
branching
about
out.
branching out, and in the parking lot started as just us talking as friends.
Yeah.
Whether that be after a movie, if there's issues, kind of like how I referred to it as in the very first episode we ever did. And we don't always talk about. We talk mostly about movies and Marvel and things like that because that's something that we all enjoyed. But also, I'll hit people up just to talk.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a while. Let's just meet up here and just talk for a while. Whether that be in a parking lot, in a mall, whatever. In the parking lot kind of succumbs all of that. But with that being said, thank you for listening. All these loiterers out there, all 4 others of you guys, we appreciate it. So we're signing off. This is ecarm32. ecarm32 is my handle. This is Eli, aka ecarm32. You can find me on Instagram at ekaram32. Find me on Twitter. I'm getting active on Twitter more often. It's a lot of fun. Man to my right, plug away.
Guys, really appreciate everybody listening, especially if you made it this far. Pepper signing off for you all. Check out my YouTube channel, Pep's Pokey Reveals. I'm up to 119 subscribers.
Nice.
Hopefully I could continue building, but I kind of want to start implementing this with the YouTube show, and then the YouTube show with the podcast, and how, whatever, later on down the road we can always do something, but social media is just Pepper31.
I think so.
My main stuff is Pepper31.
Like your IG.
Yeah.
I think Twitter, even though I don't really use it, is.
Nah, I gotta start getting into it though. But
Pepper31.
all right,
cool. And then side note, geez, I just lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something. Oh, we could try live broadcasting, because I think you can go as long as you want through YouTube through that, and I think that would be cool to do like once a week.
Yeah, maybe we could. Yeah, maybe we could try that.
So with that being said, thank you all for listening.
Fellow loiterers, we are signing off.
Peace! Wow, that took a while. Sorry, that was really awkward. I apologize for coughing and all that fun stuff. I'm so sorry.